Project Management Professional Training Session 17. Answers to Study Checkpoint Exercises. Study Checkpoint 1.1. Identify each of the following items as a project or an operation. A. A librarian performing her daily job responsibilities. B. A bookseller processing customer orders. C. A network administrator ensuring that the network stays up and running 24/7. D. Taking a course in molecular biology. Answers A, B, and C are examples of operations, ongoing and repetitive efforts. D is a project with a definitive amount of effort, a beginning and an end, and a unique product or result, such as grades. Study Checkpoint 1.2. What is the core difference between knowledge areas and process groups? Try to answer this question in one sentence. Answer: knowledge areas are disciplines of management that represent management. Knowledge of a certain topic, such as cost and time, whereas process groups are about the application of that knowledge, that is, where and when to apply that knowledge. For example, during initiating or during planning, and so on. Okay, that was a long sentence. Here is the short answer: knowledge areas are about knowledge of project management topics, and process groups are about applying that knowledge. Study Checkpoint 1.3. In the following table, match each item in the first column with a corresponding item. In the second column, knowledge area action. A. Message 1. While developing the schedule, Laura realized that there was risk involved in the project. So, she put her thoughts into a note that she wrote on her computer. B. Scope 2. Manage interdependencies among different processes belonging to different knowledge areas. C. Cost 3. Ensure the project includes the work required to complete the project successfully and no extra work. D. Schedule 4. Plan the schedule and complete the project within the planned schedule. E. Quality 5. Plan the budget, track what you are spending, and complete the project within budget. F. Risk 6. Ensure that you develop the right product that will satisfy the needs for which the project was undertaken. G. Procurement 7. Obtain the team to do the project work, and lead and motivate the team to keep working in the right direction, in an efficient and effective way. Knowledge area action. H. Resources 8. Generate and distribute the required project information to the right stakeholders at the right time, by using the right method. I. Communication 9. Plan for uncertain events that could happen and deal with them when they do happen in such a way that the possible benefit is maximized and damage is minimized. J. Integration 10. Identify the project work that needs to be contracted out of the performing organization and contract it out. Answers: A. 1. B. 3. C. 5. D. 4. E. 6. F. 9. G. 10. H. 7. I. 8. J. 2. Study Checkpoint 1.4. Match each item in the first column of the following table with one or more suitable items in the second column. Entity may contain: A. Project 1. Operations. B. Program 2. Projects. C. Portfolio 3. Programs. 4. Portfolios. 5. Activities to create a well-defined unique product. Answers: A. 5. B. 2. 3. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Study Checkpoint 1.5. You are about to throw a quarter and a dime several times. What is the probability of the following happening? A. The quarter will land heads up on the first try. B. The dime will land tails up on the first try. C. The quarter will land heads up and the dime will land tails up on the first try. D. Both the quarter and the dime will land heads up on the first try. E. The quarter will land heads up on the first try and also heads up on the second try. Answers: The quarter has a probability of 0.5 to land either way, heads up or tails up. The same is true for the dime. Considering that, the answers to A and B are 0.5, and the answers to C, D, and E are 0.25, 0.5 times 0.5 is equal to 0.25. Study checkpoint 1.6. In the following table, match each item in the first column to the corresponding item. In the second column, project variable value. A. Level of staff 1. Highest in the beginning and end of the project and lowest when the project is being executed. B. Risk 2. Highest in the beginning and decreases as the project progresses. Project variable value. C. Ability to influence the product without significantly impacting the project cost. 3. Low in the beginning, maximum when the tasks of the project are being executed. D. Cost 4. Uniform throughout the project. Answers: A. 3. B. 2. C. 2. D. 3. Chapter 2. Study checkpoint 2.1. Q1. From the organization's perspective, what is the core difference between enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets? Q2. In the following table, match each item in the first column to items in the second column. Factor and asset. Categories. Factor or asset examples. Internal factor: A. Company's email system. B. Checklist. External factor: C. City laws where company is. Processes and procedures. D. Configuration management system. E. An approved external provider. Knowledge databases. F. Commercial risk database. G. Interest rate. H. Configuration repository from past project of the company. A1. Enterprise environmental factors are about how the performing organization does its business, whereas organizational process assets are about how the organization runs its projects. Explanation: Enterprise environmental factors are the factors of the overall environment in which the organization is operating and doing its business. Organizational process assets are the process-related assets, and the projects are made of processes. Therefore, the organizational process assets speak more to how the organization performs its projects. A2. Internal factor: A, E, D. External factor: C, F, G. Processes and procedures: B. Knowledge databases: H. Explanation: Note that a configuration management system, D, is software used in the company, so it's an internal factor, and the configuration repository from past projects of the company, H, belongs to company's knowledge databases. Study checkpoint 2.2. You have been offered a project B that will earn you a profit of $100,000 in 3 months. You already have an offer of a project A that will earn you a profit of $70,000 in 3 months. You can only do one project during these 3 months, and the project requesters are unable to move the project durations. Q1. What is the opportunity cost of project A? Q2. What is the opportunity cost of project B? Q3. Just based on the opportunity cost, which project will you select? Q4. Describe what can change your decision based just on the opportunity cost. Answers. A1. $100,000, because this is the opportunity that you are missing when you take on project A. A2. $70,000, because this is the opportunity that you are missing when you take on project B. A3. Project B will be selected because it has a smaller opportunity cost. A4. Opportunity cost is only one of several criteria that are used to select projects. It may be that some other criteria, such as a scoring model, will produce different results. You have to see which method is more relevant for your case. Study checkpoint 3.1. Q1. True or false, it is the responsibility of the project manager to develop the project. Charter. Q2. True or false, project charter is a contract between the performing entity and the entity for which it's being performed. Q3. Which process project document interfaces the project with the organization's strategy? Answers. A1. False. The project manager officially does not even exist when the develop project charter process is started. That said, it's quite possible that a potential project manager may be asked to put together the project charter, or a specific project manager assignment may be part of a bid or a proposal. A2. False. The project charter is not a contract, as no money is involved. A3. Project charter. Study checkpoint 3.2. Knowing the identify stakeholders process, answer the following. Q1. Describe which EFs can influence the process of identify stakeholders. Q2. Describe which OPAs can influence the process of identify stakeholders. Answer. Enterprise environmental factors. Examples of enterprise environmental factors that help identify stakeholders include governmental and industry standards, geographical distribution of facilities and resources, external local culture and trends, organizational culture, and organizational structure. It's important to understand the organization's culture and structure in order to identify some stakeholders and their possible impact on the project, because different people will have different levels of authority and influence under different cultures and structures, as discussed in Chapter 2. Organizational process assets. The stakeholder register templates and the stakeholder registers from previous projects can be useful when creating the stakeholder register for the project at hand. Another example of the organizational process assets helpful in identifying stakeholders is the lessons learned from previous projects. For instance, perhaps you learned from a previous project how you ignored a negative stakeholder, which caused great damage to the project. Study checkpoint 3.3. Q1. What is the first process you perform in managing a project? Q2. What do you need before you can begin initiating your project? Answers. A1. Develop project charter. A2. The input to the develop project charter process, business case, project benefit, plan, and necessary agreements. Study checkpoint 3.4. In the following table, match each item in the first column to one or more items in the second column to describe its role during project initiation. Item role. A. Business documents 1. Input to developing project charter. B. Project charter 2. Output of developing project charter. C. Procurement documents 3. Input to identifying stakeholders. D. Assumptions log 4. Output of identifying stakeholders. Answers. A. 1, 3. B. 2, 3. C. 1, 3. D. 2. Study checkpoint 4.1. Among the following attributes, identify which are part of product scope and which are part of the project scope, according to PMBOK, 6th edition. A. Develop software modules to support website. B. The user can only access this website after logging in. C. The drug should not have more than 2 side effects. D. The drug must be developed within 1 year. E. The drug must be tested in-house before it goes to Food and Drug Administration. Answers. Project scope, A, D, E. Product scope, B, C. Study checkpoint 4.2. Make lists of enterprise environment factors and organizational process assets that can influence the collect requirements process. Answers. Enterprise environment factors. Internal, culture, infrastructure, personnel administration. External, marketing condition, legal restrictions. Organizational process assets, policies and procedures, organizational and industry. Standards, knowledge database. Study checkpoint 4.3. Assuming that the online learning system in Figure 4.3 is managed by a company with its own teachers. Q1. Name internal actors. Q2. Name external actors. Answers. A1. Internal actors, teachers and administration. A2. External actors, students and payment system. Study checkpoint 4.4. In the following table, match each item in the first column with an appropriate item in the second column. A. The software product must run on both Microsoft Windows and Apple Macintosh. 1. Project deliverable. B. An online education website. 2. Project constraint. C. The drug must be developed within 6 months. 3. Product requirement. D. The software module must not have more than 10 bugs. 4. Project management. Requirement. E. Project manager must have a PMP certification. 5. Product acceptance. Criteria. Answers. A. 3. B. 1. C. 2. D. 5. E. 4. Study checkpoint 4.5. Q1. What is the difference between management control point and control account? Q2. What is the difference between control account and code of account? Answers. A1. A management control point is a control account. A2. A code of account is a unique identifier of a work package, and a control account contains one or more work packages, i.e., codes of account, in it.